Hey everyone, this is Tessa Nelson, and I know I made a much fancier video last time, but since we are in the middle of moving to Idaho, I'm kind of making, just kind of a regular one. And what I am doing my video on is the job title Victim Advocacy, and that's the position as a victim advocate. And I'm doing it, and it's based in Salt Lake City, Utah. And so it'll probably be like the salary and the pay that you would get as if you were living in Salt Lake. And so I personally don't know anyone in this career. My aunt is a social worker, so I guess she probably has worked with people before, but I don't know anyone who specifically worked as a domestic violence advocate or a victim of crime advocate. So the working environment is this job takes place in a high stress environment, obviously. You have to be able to handle hearing and dealing with victims of severe crimes. So you have to be able to deal with hearing about those things and helping them through it without your own mental awareness going down. This job requires mental resilience and strength. Much of your time will be dedicated to the victims and their families, trying to help them get through the court processes, trying to help, get them connected with police and other sorts of things, and help them with like writing up restraining orders and protective orders and stuff. It is your duty to walk the victim through the court process while giving your best support and listening to them when they need some extra strength. Obviously, people who are victims of severe crimes are going to be feeling horrible or feeling bad and feeling low about this. I would say the typical stressors in this job is constantly dealing with victims who are, of crime. You have to be able to hear and deal with some of the hardest stories and details of violence in this position. This could be the elderly, it could be children, it could be women or other targeted groups like minorities or religious groups. Sometimes hearing this information can be hard on your own mental state and wear you down over time. It's very important to make sure that you can deal with this information that you're given and you can function well in this employment and this position of trust, because people are going to be trusting you with what you're going to be doing, with the information that you're going to be given about their situation and details. So I didn't find any benefits offered in this position because it is a grant position, so meaning that it is temporary until the grant is filled up or is used, or it just goes down from the money that is given to zero. However, if the grant gets renewed by the government, then you could be rehired until the expiration or renewal of the grant again that would come up. So this is considered more of a temporary position. Your common job tasks would be to provide crisis interventions for victims of crimes, evaluate needs and referrals for counseling, housing, shelter, legal assistance, assisting clients in getting protective orders, restraining orders, help file victim reparation forms, and victim and witness statements, medical release forms / documentation that permits to their case. In addition, if you were to get this position, you'd have to attend weekly meetings, follow up on the cases, and attend court with the victims, and et cetera, taking notes, those kinds of things. And so the educational requirement is a bachelor's degree in social or behavioral science, 1 year work-related experience, or you have to graduate from an accredited 2-year college with an associate's degree in social or behavior science and 3 years of work-related experience. Related degrees are also accepted. You will be required to attend national, state, and local conference regarding victims assistance, and that would be something that you would have to do. You'd also have to do like special like civil servant exams and other things like that, just to keep up on, to know what, to prove that you know what you're really doing in this field. And so I got this information source from just Googling victim advocacy work, and then just kind of finding it there. The salary range is starting for inexperienced is $25,000, and experienced range is $41,600. So about $20 an hour would be tops, and this one is paying. And that is pretty much where I got that information. And so it is a really important position, and it's a really trusted position, so you really kind of have to know what you're doing. So that's probably why they require so much work experience to be able to get into this job, so that way you can be more trusted and you know what you're doing better. So it was nice talking to you all, and I hope you learned something about, victims advocacy and some criminology, and have a fantastic day.